Sword of Sorcery number 0, written by Christy Marks, art by Aaron Lopresti. This is a new series featuring Amethyst of Gemworld, and we will get to that by the end of the issue. But first, we open up in a normal American high school with Amy, a chick who doesn't particularly want to fit in. She's got a whole bunch of like dark-haired colors and wearing a leather jacket and whatnot. And she overhears some people nearby planning a party and purposely not inviting her because they think she's so weird. Now she makes her way to her locker. She sees, I guess, her locker mate, the person next to her, is being hit on by someone in the football team. And the girl is admittedly a bit dorky herself. Her name is Beryl. And Amy overhears all this of how they're going to meet up at the bleachers after the homecoming game. And Amy's like, oh, hey, he's on the football team. You going on a date with him? And Beryl's like, oh, yeah, he's so dreamy. And then Beryl's like, oh, yeah, you're the new girl. You're Amy. Hey, I'm Beryl. It's a horrible name. And she's like, yeah, no, it's part of like a topaz thing. I'm all about like rocks and gems and stuff like that. They interest me. And Beryl's like, oh, that's cool. I'll see you at the homecoming game. And she runs off. And then we see her mother working down at the diner. She's only been there for a couple weeks now, but it's apparently her daughter's 17th birthday tonight, and 17 is a very big birthday for them. So she hugs goodbye to her friends at the diner and says, like, yeah, we're going back home, and I'm probably not going to be back again, so see ya. So later on that night, they're in their trailer, and Amy is saying, like, hey, like, I get it's my birthday, but it doesn't feel that special. I have no friends here. We move like every couple weeks. I've never been able to set down roots. This is not what I want. And she's like, don't worry. It's your 17th birthday, and I did promise you I'd send you back home then. However, we need to train again. And they go into the closet, get out some swords and shields and some sparring gear, and just start fighting in the woods. And the mom's like, Amy's distracted. The mom's just like, what are you doing? Come on, focus. Get in the head. What's going on right now? And Amy just throw down the stuff, and it's just like, this sucks. I hate being weird. I just want to fit in like a normal person. And then we cut to Gemworld. It's actually called Nila, but I'm going to call it Gemworld until they explicitly tell me that I can't. And we are greeted by this blonde queen-looking woman who has another blonde woman who looks more like a peasant down on her knees. And she's like, hey, no need to cry. I brought you here because you have my bloodline. And see, when you touch this amethyst, it glows. That's signs that you have the royal bloodline, because here's the deal. A couple generations ago, my great-grandfather slept around a lot and left his seed all over the countryside, and that's something that I now have to deal with. And then she just vaporizes the young girl and says, like, and like inhales her inherent like gem dust or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, pay her family and find me another one. And then we end with that scene. So we cut over to Amy, who's arriving after the homecoming game, and she missed the whole thing. However, it is around the time that Beryl said that she'd be behind the bleachers. So we cut to Beryl, who not only is the football guy there, but so are two other football players. And it seems like they're about to do some very unsavory things to her. To which point Amy shows up and tells them, back off. And they start trying to fight Amy. Amy is, of course, able to fight back because of all the training the mom gave her, and literally, like, breaks one of their noses, knocks the other ones out. The one who broke his nose is like, my dad's a lawyer, and we're going to sue you. But when she goes to help Beryl, and it's like, hey, let me get you back home, Beryl's like, get away from me. Jesus, like, what did you do? And she just runs off, and Amy has to call her mom in order to get picked up. So later on, Amy is back home talking to her mom, being like, why was she afraid of me? And she's like, she was just in shock. Don't worry about it. Look, we can go back home now. It's time to finally do it. And so they don't bring anything. They don't bring the trailer. They literally only bring like a water bottle, a granola bar, and the clothes on their back. They even leave their phones, and they just start driving off down to the base of this mountain. They start climbing up the mountain again, and the mom explains, like, look, we got to go really far out here, and the whole reason that I've never taken you home is because we have people back home that want us dead, and not just any people, my sister. To which we then cut over back to the blonde-haired woman who is now in the throne room being like, all right, Day of Prophecy, it's here. I need all my men on high alerts. We're going to go to all the different points that we mapped out. We need to be prepared to strike instantly. And one of our advisors is like, I mean, milady, it is possible that your sister and her daughter had already died. Otherwise, wouldn't they have come back by now? To which point the queen points out that, I'm only at half power magic. You know why I'm at half power magic? Because my sister has the other half, and she's purposely waiting until her daughter turns the proper age to take the throne from me. So shut your trap, you stupid advisor. So we cut back to Earth, and it's dawn. They make their way out deep into the wilderness, put down what they call a portal crystal down in the ground, and the mom uses some magic to activate it, which causes this huge purple portal to open up. Amy and her mom step through it, and when they come out the other side, they are now in like full armor, and they have long flowing blonde hair, and they look exactly like the queen does. And when they arrive, they have a whole group of soldiers kneeling before them, and they're speaking like a strange language, which the mother is easily able to speak back. And the mother explains like, yep, okay, you look different, I look different, this is a whole different world, this is our true life, we have magic powers, I'll explain it all in a bit. Also, they speak a different language, we'll deal with that as we get to it. But before they can really do anything, they are ambushed. A couple arrows come in, and the soldiers start trying to protect Amy, and the mom goes deep into the fight. But Amy, she's a fighter. She wants to join in. She grabs one of the soldiers' sword, picks up a shield, and immediately jumps into the fight, saying, "I'm coming, Mom." And then we just get one little panel here of John Constantine showing up to where the portal crystal was left, saying, "Oh, hey, you might be useful later on." Picks it up, puts it in his coat, and whistles his way off screen. Dense first issue, dense 0th issue, I guess. There's a lot going on here, setting up a lot of ideas, concepts, and characters. I'm loving the deep lore of this. Full discretion, I did read this series way back when I first bought this trade. This is one I actually gave a shot to, and I did enjoy it, but I hardly remember any of it now. But it still stands up. It's still a very good intro to this idea of Gem World and these different, as we'll see, these different houses, and there's magics that are all based on the different houses. It's going to be a great read, I guarantee you that. But this first issue is just a solid start to that. Of first you get the team that's relatable, and then you spin it into this weird magic thing. So fish out of water story, set up, prepackaged, ready to go. Overall, gonna give this one an 8. Definitely worth checking out. Follow along for the rest of the issues if you have any interest in it. I'm definitely going to be interested the whole way through.